Christina, Universe Citizen presents New Era Religion, Episode 97, Part 1, August 14, 2022. Identifying observed events as systems. Planet U's anticipatory design science, true democracies, omnidirectional considerations of observed events require an inherently regenerative nucleus toward which and from which universe's energy is importing inwardly, then exporting outwardly from the center of volume, thus to be distributed. The regenerative nucleus of conceptual pattern integrity is a nucleus-free nuclear sphere's prime volume of conceptual observation reference. Logically, therefore, Planet U's observers' design science anticipates a true democracy referential to an omnidirectional nucleus-free nuclear sphere's prime volume. The vector matrix integral environments 12 spheres triangularly surrounding one sphere geometrically accommodate interrelating topological characteristics of the energy event transformations. A true democracy's event transformations are alternative options as equally most economical angle and frequency. These alternative frequencies are derived from multiplied optional diversity of alternate frequency rates of occurrence. Recalling the word consider from Latin con plus sidus, joining stars together consciously of omnidirectional universe gradually clarifies the most subtle, once unthought of, omnirationally coordinated anticipatory design science realities. One such anticipated reality is the manifestation of a true democracy on Planet U. The conceptual generalized pattern integrity of the matrix's interaccommodating network environment occurs to the tuned-in observer who is apprised of the single conceptual system and common language that can account for both the metaphysical and the physical. The observations are of the generalized content of disseminated information, as awareness includes what is inadvertently excluded and, for the most part, can be designated as irrelevant. Also, the insights and outlooks inspired by the most rudimentary awareness of the isotropic vector matrix coincide with less confusion within the as yet not identified relationship problems from the inherited detriments that are cultivated in the womb of permitted ignorance. It may turn out to be that all aspects and characteristic interrelating values can be generalized to our individual metaphysical generalized conceptioning field of thought. Technically and literally, theoretically, imaginably, Planet U's observer experiences freedoms by degree that is no longer irrationally constrained and is increasingly more consciously aware of the womb of total human consciousness. This is, as metaphysical intellect self-identifies its intellectual potential as a predominantly metaphysical objective and function of omnidirectional, omnirationally evolving universe. Systemic thought, thus, is mindfully a function of the eternal, omniscient mind's universe, the universe of Yom. Awareness of the universe of Yom inspires Planet U observers to design a true democracy's consciously coordinated thought and language referentially, to differently conceived omnirational realities from the manifest forms on Earth as of year 2022. Until such potential realizations occur to the synergetically informed observing intellect, its reactions to the imposed PRJWBC schemes are potentially self-other disturbing. The more consciously aware, the more self-assuring it can be to clarify what is a momentarily discovered, newly conceived, self-other recognized ignorance is coincidental to intellect self-perpetuating uncertainty. The uncertainty assumes that the synergetically derived system awareness might be insufficient compared to what world-renowned educated experts surely must know way more about. Yet there is no real evidence from the variously communicated information published resources that synergetics' anticipatory design science systems defined realities are understood at all. This awareness includes that self is not fully comprehending systems as self-assuring event experiences that are essential to self-confidence, correlating to consciously knowledgeable competence concerning education systems, and the newest arriving generations learning about what provides the actual and only systematic scheme of reference without promulgating egregiously detrimental PRJWBC schemes, politics, religion, justice, war, belief complex schemes. Amazingly, not everyone who is involved with the responsibility of education by informing self and others about science's essential knowledge identifies observed events as systems. System definition, as it turns out, is the least known to imagination's ability to formulate conceptually. For the most part, such ability is not validated with geometric models. In the education process, the ability of the human imagination to formulate conceptually, which requires energy event awareness of geometric models, is supplanted by politics, religion, justice, war of the PRJWBCS. Apparently, PRJWBCS variously devised accreditations is not aware that all systems are polyhedral and are subject to comprehension. Synergetics 400.01 to Synergetics 400.20. We are inadvertently learning about this far-reaching problem generalizes to the least familiar information that ordinarily humans assume must be of no relevant education interest, especially since awareness of particles has been kept outside what ought to be integral survival information and evolution interest to everyone. For examples, the number of fundamental particles as of 1991 is 37, as leptons, quarks, bosons, electrons, muons, tauons, and neutrinos derive from 12 leptons and 12 quarks. This suggests a total of 24 fundamental particles that ordinarily humans give little thought to, but in some correlating concern induces either no further inquiry or more questions. One question is, why is it necessary to produce in the laboratory the relatively scarce particles as those that are non-existent environmentally? Most humans are not aware of us as a highly intelligent species, an evolution mammalian species, humans of the eternal omniscient mind, eon. Mammalians suggest a female gender who feeds her young, and also suggests a matrix in a roundabout or indirect reference. The word womb in Latin is matrix for mater, mother. And a matrix is an environment in which something develops. A matrix is not only a mathematical rectangular array of quantities in rows and columns for manipulating according to particular rules as defined in Oxford University Press Dictionary and Thesaurus. This is especially noteworthy subsequent to learning of omnidirectional epistemology. Epistemology from Greek episteme, knowledge. Omnidirectional is different from unidirectional, as infinite is different from finite and definite. Conscious and knowledgeably competent iterations are conceptual, but not necessarily philosophical. Perhaps when inventing the term and practice art of philosophy, it served a particular bias to defend the specifically devised, seemingly benign, albeit superiority position for the sake of appeasing the powerful, tending to gloss over the absences of forethought concerning truth, love, beauty, symmetry, wisdom, and maximum economy. TLBSWME. Logically, we do not have to go through philosophy to conceptualize energy events in principle, but we do need to acquire knowledge as generalized information to every conceptual degree of freedom. Awareness of such a conceptuality is what we have evolved to learn. We have evolved to learn observations of the reenacting articulations, generalizes to the atoms, without which humans and other mammals on and in this one ocean world could not exist. We exist as mammalian systems because the atom exists. To be continued in part 2. Thank you.